So in the last class, we have seen about a few things like LOD functions and other topics like table calculations.
Order of LOD చూసామండి. Order of LOD fixed and
Correct.
yeah.
So we have seen parallelly LOD functions like fixed LOD and parallel with the window functions like window sum function. So we
Yeah.
have few scenarios like on LOD functions. So just let me go through briefly about like this what why do we use LOD functions and all those. So firstly, LOD functions means level of detail. So as I told you in the initial classes, we have two types of data, row level data and aggregated data. So we have measures, right? We have measures and dimensions in Tableau. So measures are always aggregated over a dimensions. So when you drag a dimension and measure into the sheet, Tableau automatically aggregate the data. All the measures are aggregated automatically with respect to those dimensions. But without using dimension in the sheet, I don't want to use the dimension in the sheet, but still I want to aggregate the data, like data in the sense I want to aggregate the measure over a particular dimension without using the dimension in the sheet. So in those scenarios, we will be having like a level of detail expressions. So at which dimension you want to aggregate the data. So you want to aggregate the data at a specific dimensions, right? In those cases, we will go for this LOD functions. So within the calculation field itself, so we'll write a calculation. Within the calculation, we will mention dimension and we also mention aggregation like sum of sales, something like that. So just trying to repeat one more time. In general, all the measures will be aggregated with respect to dimensions what we have in the sheet. But without having these dimensions in the sheet, still we can aggregate the measures with respect to a specific dimension using fixed LODs within the calculations. So in the last class, so totally three types of, so we have to remember three scenarios. When you hear a scenario, then you should be able to identify. Okay, for this scenario, we have to use the fixed LOD like that. You have to remember. So I have written here three scenarios. So the two scenarios I have told you in the last class. So what is the first scenario is I have multiple dimensions in the sheet. Dimension 1, dimension 2. Okay. Now, so I want to ignore these two dimensions which are in the sheet and I want to get the total sales here. So in that case, we go for fixed LOD. So just let me show you that one briefly. Otherwise, yeah. You see, I have a region in the sheet. So this is the normal cell which is automatically aggregated to a specific dimension in the sheet. Sorry, at all dimensions in the sheet. But by ignoring this dimension, I want to get the total sales here. So for that we have used the fixed LOD. So simple fixed colon sum of sales. So this will give you the total sales by ignoring these dimensions in the sheet as well as in the filter shelf also. So it will the fixed LOD completely ignores all the dimensions in the sheet and all the dimensions in the filter shelf both, because the LOD we are using simply fixed colon sum of sales. So we are not mentioning any dimension in the calculations. So further we are also used window functions also here. So here also you see we have region and category in the sheet, but I want to completely ignore the category and region dimensions. Still, I want to achieve the same total sales here without depending upon these two dimensions or any other dimension in the filter shelf. So here also we use the same calculation fixed colon sum of sales. So when you don't mention any dimension in the fixed LOD, just let me open. So as we are not mentioning any dimension in the calculation before colon, so it won't depend upon it. It will ignore all the dimensions and it will give you the total sales. And we have one more fixed LOD calculation here. This time what I want to do is I have multiple dimensions in the sheet like region and category. And at this time for this scenario, I want to ignore the category. I want to aggregate the sales at a region level. You see, so this is the sales for central region, total sales. Just it is ignoring the category here. Similarly, this is the total sales like 6,91, 6,91, 6,91, which is ignoring the categories here and giving the sum of sales at a region level. So this is a second scenario where we have multiple dimensions, but I want to ignore specific dimensions or I want to consider only specific dimension. Like region here, I want to consider and I want to get the sales here like that. So this is a second scenario. Like for this, the calculation field is this one. You see, when I mention the region, fixed region sum of sales, it is giving the sales at region level like that. So this is coming into the second scenario, what you are seeing here, this one. Okay. So for these two cases, I can use either fixed LOD or exclude LOD also. So I'll tell you about exclude LOD a bit later. And so these are two scenarios where you can identify. We can use fixed LOD, either exclude LOD or window functions. But how, if someone is asking you what is the difference between these three like that, just to go for the filters, order of filters, just remember what is the difference between fixed LOD and uh, include LOD and exclude LOD and window functions. You have to tell this one. Fixed LOD will depend upon only context filters, but include LOD and exclude LOD will depends upon normal dimension filters also. So that is the difference. And table calculations means window function will depend upon all the filters, measure filters, dimension filters, context filters. So need to remember this one. And we have one scenario. We have seen this one. So we are finding the percentages, right? After finding total sales, we are finding the percentages. So, okay. So while finding the percentages, what we have done is we are fixing the denominator. Okay. So just remember that those examples. So we have numerator and we have denominator while finding the percentage. So fixed LOD is mainly used in the denominator to fix the total sales. So just go through the last video and see the total. Now let me tell you how we can use the exclude LOD also for these scenarios to get the total sales. So let me go to the, so here we are using fixed LOD, right, and window functions to get this total sales. Now let me open new calculation, create calculation field. So exclude LOD. I can use exclude total sales also here. Simple syntax is same for all the LODs. Either it is exclude LOD or include LOD or anything. The syntax is same. So here the exclude LOD is completely opposite of the fixed LOD. In the fixed LOD, we are mentioning those dimensions in the calculation which you want to aggregate, at which level you want to aggregate. But in the exclude LOD, we have to mention those dimensions in the sheet which you want to exclude. Okay. So I want to exclude here region. So just write the region here. I want to exclude the region. So what it will do is it will exclude this region, and for remaining dimension levels, it will give you the sum of sales. Okay, like that. So just like it is exclude everybody. One, just click on OK. Now you see what happened. So fixed LOD window function, same result, but the syntax is difference between fixed LOD and exclude LOD. So what the exclude LOD will doing, simply exclude the all the rows in the sheet or all the dimensions in the sheet, and it will give the sum of sales for the remaining rows. Sorry, not the remaining rows. It will exclude these regions and it will give the sum of sales for these all these rows. So now I will go to my sheet, another sheet here. So in this sheet, we are having region and category, right? So just let me modify my calculation. So here, here to achieve the same requirement like this, right? What I can do here is, okay, let me tell you all the things. Here I have two dimensions, region and category. I want to exclude all these dimensions. So I can simply mention region, comma, category, sum of sales. Now this calculation exclude LOD, what will do is it will exclude these two dimensions which are in the sheet, and it will give you the total sales. Okay, just let me click on apply and drag it here. You see, it is excluding all the dimensions in the sheet and it is giving the total sales. But here we are getting different value between this value and this value. This value is different from this value. Why? Because as we have seen in the order of the filters, exclude LOD will depend upon the dimension filters which are in the sheet. It will exclude these dimensions which are in the sheet, but it will depends upon the dimension filters what we have in the filter shelf. But fixed LOD will not depend upon any other things. So just edit filter, just select this category, use all also. Now you see, now we got the result same, fixed LOD and exclude LOD. Now I want to get this result, which is at region level, which we have achieved using fixed LOD. So in this case, I want to exclude the category, and at the remaining dimension levels, I want to get the sum of sales. So as you want to exclude the category, just mention exclude in the calculation. Let's click on apply. So you see what now this answer is similar to fixed LOD and window functions. So whatever the dimension you will mention the exclude LOD, it will exclude that one, and at the remaining dimension levels, it will give you the result aggregations. So fixed is a completely opposite. So for the same requirement, what we have written fixed, LOD fixed, I want to consider region and sum of sales like that. Okay, just go through that one. So just practice this sheet, you will get, and just apply the filter also here. So technology, when I uncheck the technology, fixed is not changing because it won't depend, but exclude is changing. Okay, exclude and window functions are changing here. Okay. Now we will see most important one scenario where you can identify where we have to use the fixed LOD and include LOD here. We can use for this scenario either include LOD or fixed LOD. So this scenario is like this. I don't have any dimension in the sheet. So we have multiple dimensions. I don't have any dimension in the sheet, but still I want to aggregate my sales at these dimension levels, which are not in the sheet. So in this case, I can go for either fixed LOD or include LOD. So just click on this drop down. I have given here some different examples here. But the most important example, what we face in the real time is this type of scenario, last scenario. So we have seen this scenario using condition option. So just to go to the condition option and just see what is the scenario we have seen. We'll practice the same scenario here also. Okay, what is the scenario is this one, simple. So I have different customers. Now I want to count number of customers, having sales greater than or equal to 10,000. Simple. So this scenario we have achieved using condition option. You can practice that one, but the same scenario can be achieved with the help of fixed LOD and include LOD. First, you have to understand the scenario. I want to count the number of customers. So counting means which is a aggregation. So if you want to count something, right, we will use count D of customers. So that means this is the aggregation we are doing. AGG means aggregation. Now count the number of customers having sales greater than 10,000. So here we have to do the aggregation second time. Okay, so first we have so you see, for example, we have different customers in the database. So whose sales is 80,000, for example. This 80,000 is not because of a single row or a single day. So over a multiple years, like in one row you'll be having 10,000, in other row we have 30K, in other row we have 50, like maybe 40K. So for customer, when I do the summation of all the rows, I'll get this 80,000. On this 80,000, I have to apply this filtering concept. I have to, on this entire aggregation, I'll be showing. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. So just understanding this example will give you overall idea about fixed deliveries and included deliveries. So first I have to, like we have so many customers, customer one, customer two, customer three, like that. So first I have to aggregate the sum of sales at this customer level. So after that, maybe for customer one, I have 80,000. For customer two, I have or like maybe 50,000. For customer three, I have 8,000, like 8K. So on top of this result, we have to apply this 10K condition. So when I apply this condition, for example, right, what we'll get? So the sales should be greater than 10,000. So in this case, this customer we have to count one customer. So this customer we have to count two customers. Like why? Because at the end we have to count all these customers, right? So this is the end scenario. So we have to ignore this customer. Why? Because this customer is having sales less than 10,000. So this condition is not satisfied for this customer. That's why we have to ignore for this customer. So assume that we have only total three customers. And how many customers are there satisfying this condition is two customers, customer one and customer two, because these two are having sales greater than 10,000. Simple. So this is where we are doing first aggregation at customer level. So we have to do this aggregation without dragging the customer in the sheet, without using this customer dimension in the sheet. And second time we have to do this quantity of aggregation. And in this second aggregation, we are counting customer one, customer two. All these customers we are counting. Okay. So hope you understand. So just remember, okay. So hope you remember, hope you can remember this one. I have to do print. Okay. So no need. Print the screen. Okay. So you remember, right? Without without dragging anything in the sheet, we have to achieve this requirement. So first time we have to do the aggregation at customer name level. Here we will be using fixed customer name sum of sales. That will give you 80,000, 50,000, 8,000 for each and every customer. On top of that, we have to apply this condition, 10K condition. So this condition will give you only those customers who are having sales greater than 10,000. After getting the customers, on top of that customer, I have to count all those customers. So here we have to apply second aggregation like quantity. So hope you remember steps. So let me open a calculation. So customers, I can say simply customers. greater than or equal to 10,000. I can say this calculation name. So just remember, if I do simply sum of sales greater than or equal to 10,000, right? This is not equal to this one. Why? Because it is not the simply sum of sales. So if I do this summation, what the Tableau will do? Sum of sales means Tableau directly go to the sheet. So we have seen this in the filter starting. This sales is not at customer level. So this condition is not applicable for customer level. Why? Because in the calculation, I have mentioned only measure only here. I did not mention any dimension here. So in the database, I have so many dimensions. So Tableau will not understand at which dimension level you want to aggregate the sum of sales. So we have region dimension, we have customer name, we have order ID, we have order date. So we have so many dimensions. So if you don't have any dimension in the sheet, so Tableau will not understand at which dimension level you want to do this sum of sales. So as Tableau don't know anything and we don't have any dimension in the sheet also, Tableau will calculate total sales and apply this condition. So first we have to tell the calculation and Tableau that take the sum of sales at customer level first. For each customer, calculate the sum of sales. After that only apply this, check this condition. Okay. So here we will be using fixed sum of sales. Same thing only, just I'm just writing fixed here. So fixed at customer name level, I want to do sum of sales, right? Just customer name colon sum of sales. So end the fixed LOD here. You see? So within the curly braces, we have to write our sum of sales fixed LOD, and here I want to do the sum of sales at this customer level. So this calculation, this fixed LOD till this left side, what it will give is for each customer, it will get sales, sum of sales. After getting the sum of sales for each customer, then apply this condition. Okay, so I am just writing a simple if statement here. So if, and everything should be between if and end here. So now we got customer wise total sales. Now for each customer, now I want to take which customer? For the customers whose sales is greater than 10,000, then only I want to take those customers in the output. So simply mention what should be your output actually, customer name. So here we are taking those customers whose sales are greater than 10,000. Now, so this is the first time aggregation we have done here. Second time what I want, once I get all those customers, now I want to do the count of all these customers. So overall if statement output is customer name. Just for the overall if statement, do the count D function. So this will count the customers. So after then statement, whatever you are using the dimension, that will be the output here. So I got all the customers whose sales is greater than sum of sales is sum of sales is greater than 10,000, and I don't want to display those customers as it is in the sheet. So if you want to display those customers as it is in the sheet, don't use count D function. But my requirement is I want to count all these customers. So just click on apply, drag this calculation into the text here. Now you got 21 customers whose sales is sum of sales is greater than 10,000. So this thing can be the same thing we have achieved using condition option also. So once you get this output, you have to validate this output is correct or not. You have to do the testing also against the database. So without going to the database, just take the sheet 32. In this sheet 32, I will do manual testing. How to do manual testing? Simply drag the customer name into the row shelf, sales into the text here, click on the drop down. So now I got customers in the descending order based on the sales here. Now just do the filter of on the top of the sum of sales, at least what I want, 10,000. Just click on OK. Now you see all these customers are having sales greater than 10,000. And if you see number of rows here, So if you count number of customers like 1, 2, 3 like that, you will see 21. Or you can go to the bottom of the sheet, you will see 21 rows. So in this way, you have to do the manual testing, and it is equivalent to the sheet 31 number of customers. Okay. Okay. So to achieve this thing, we are using fixed LOD. So this is cost sales calculation, right? Okay. Now I want to duplicate this calculation. So just to remember easily, just rename this to fixed. So we are achieving this using fixed calculation. Now I have duplicated the same thing here and edit this one. This time to achieve the same requirement, I will use include LOD. So just change the fixed to include here. Okay. Just click on OK. So same thing, no, nothing will be changed for the include LOD also, except this change from fixed to include here. Just click on OK and just double click on it. You see, and we have, as we have measure names in the row shelf, we are getting this measure wise. Okay, no problem. You see, using include LOD also, I got the same result, 21, 21.
But actually, these include LOD will change when we apply filters, right? If we have any
Correct,
filters,
correct,
filter pane, if you have, let's say, region is available,
correct.
then based on that, okay, yeah, yes, please go ahead. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Thanks for like that involving. Yeah, that's correct. So, so when you drag the region into the row shelf before measure names, you see, now I want to do the same requirement. I want to count the same customers over a region level. Now you see, my fixed LOD is not changing here. As I told you, it will not depend upon the customers. You see, my fixed LOD will give you some wrong result here. 21, 20, 15, like that, 19 is giving. But my include LOD, right? That is giving correct result. So what it is showing, in the central region, I have 3 customers which are having sales greater than. So include LOD also will do the same aggregation at customer level only. And if you have any dimension in the row shelf or filter shelf, the same include LOD will do the same aggregation at other dimension levels also. It will include the other dimensions which are in the region shelf, in the filter shelf and row shelf and column shelf. So the same aggregation. So it will include LOD will include other dimensions which are in the row shelf and filter shelf also. So that is the difference. And if you go to the order of the filters here, so you catched it correctly actually. So include LOD, fixed LOD will not depend upon dimension filters, where include LOD and exclude LOD will depend upon the normal dimensions also. So include LOD is more granular to the other dimensions which are in the row shelf and column shelf. So I don't want to use the standard terms here. Why? Because in the interviews you should be able to tell the answer like this. So okay, I am checking here. I'm just assuming that fixed LOD is wrong here and include LOD is giving the correct result here. But I want to do the testing also, right? So I just go to the sheet 32, whatever we have done here in the, just drag the region just before the customer name. You see, in the central region, I have 3 customers. So we are counting these customers, right? So see, like in the sheet 31, I got correct result 3. For West region, include LOD is giving one customer here. So if you go to sheet 32, it is giving. Okay, so include LOD will work perfectly here. Not if you want the, if you drag the region into the row shelf, include LOD will work perfectly. If you don't want to use the region in the sheet, but you want to use the region as a filter also, here also will include LOD will work perfectly. So just select the central region. You see, exclude is giving 21, which is wrong. Include is giving correct result here. So what is happening with the fixed LOD? What is happening with the fixed LOD is, so assume that for one customer, I have got more than 20,000 sales, like 30K thousand. And when you filter the central region, this fixed LOD, what we'll do is, so for this customer, assume that this 30,000 is because of all the regions like central region, east region, west region, like that, right? So this fixed LOD it will consider all the regions, and it is giving 30,000. And now this customer is coming under greater than 10,000. And even you uncheck the some regions here, still this fixed LOD will not consider that regions, and still it will give you output is 30K only. So because of that reason, still this customer is counted as greater than 10,000 only, even you uncheck the central region also. But assume that this 30K, in this 30K, from the central region, I have 8,000 sales only. And from the east region, I have some different sales. So when I do the summation, it is giving 30,000. But from the central region, this person is doing 8,000 sales only. In that case, when you select central region, I have to consider this 8K thousand. So when I consider this 8K thousand, so this condition is wrong now. So the customer is falling under less than 10,000. So I should not count this customer. So include LOD is will consider these dimension filters. So that's why it is removing some customers from this 21,000 count, and it is giving you less count here, 3K, which is correct answer. Hope you understand. I don't want to go in detail, but I told you overall concept.
Can you go to sheet 32 once, please?
Yeah, just go to sheet 32. Okay, I'll show you here. So just remove the region from the row shelf. We have scene miller, right? So just drag the region. So just remove this filter also. Just keep only the scene miller. So in Tableau, we have a other method to filter the data. Simply click on the scene miller. Just keep on the keep only option and exclude options. When you click on the keep only, this customer will be filtered out here. Now just remove the sum of sales filter from the filter shelf. Now when you drag the region into the customer, after customer name, you see for scene miller, these are sales from different regions. So, but fixed LOD will not consider these dimensions. Still, it will count total sales is 25,000 only. On top of this 20,000, it will apply. It is greater than or 10,000 or not, it will apply. So, for example, like that, see, Raymond Butch, right? Raymond Butch is having sales greater than 15,000. So, fixed LOD will count this customer irrespective of dimension filters. But let's see for this customer, keep only drag the region into the row shelf. Now, okay, for the west region, you see here, from the when I consider central region, the sales is less than 10,000. That's why include LOD will not count this customer, but fixed LOD will count this customer. Why? Because include LOD will ignore this region filter, and total sales is like greater than 10,000. So because of that reason, Raymond Butch will not appear in the sheet 31 when you drag the region into the row shelf. So let's apply all the conditions. Okay,
సో యాక్చువల్లీ ఒక డౌట్ అండి ఇక్కడ. సో ఇప్పుడు ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎల్ఓడికి 21 వచ్చాయి కదా! సో రీజన్స్ యాడ్ చేయండి ఒకసారి.
Okay.
So
So
in
just
all
drag
the
the measure names into column shelf so that you can see fixed LOD and included LOD side by side. Okay.
yeah. So in that case, all సెంట్రల్, ఈస్ట్, సౌత్, వెస్ట్ సేమ్ ఉండాలి కదండి ఫిక్స్డ్‌లో. అక్కడ ఎందుకు డిఫరెన్స్ ఉన్నాయి?
Why? Because yeah, correct question you have asked. So I don't want to explain that before you ask why, because it will be confusion for you. Okay. Now I have these 21 customers. So in central, your question is like we should see all the 21 across all the regions. But assume that I have one customer here, which is the customer is not at all in the east region. This customer is not at all in the east region in the database itself. That's why in that cases, see, it will fix the aggregation and it will try to count that customer but the customer should be exist at least in that region. Okay, so you see, I have 21 customers. All the customers are existed in the central region. So you see, finally we are doing count distinct, right? So what the Tableau will do is, for each customer it will do 1 1 1 1 1 1 like that. So as all these 21 customers are existed in the central region, it is showing 21 21 like that, plus 1. And when come to the east region, out of these 21 customers, only 20 customers are existed, not with respect to sales, not with respect to total sales. In the database itself, one customer is not there in the east region at all. That's why it is showing 20 here. Okay, I'll tell you. So just if you want to understand this concept, just click on the 21 here. Just go to this view data option. Like you can see the data here. If you go to customers here, right? You see we have all these customers in the central region. So what the fixed LOD is doing, fixed LOD count here is in this way. It won't, what it will do is, if the customer exists in the database in this region at least, then it will count that customer irrespective of their sum of sales. But in the database itself, that customer is not there in the east region. In that case, it won't do that. It won't do that count here. అర్థమైందా? Got it?
యా అర్థమైంది. నేను కూడా ఒకసారి చేసి చూస్తాను. సో అప్పుడు ఇంకా క్లారిటీగా ఉంటది.
Okay, just try to, just let me go to sheet 32 here. Okay, so instead of see, so this Raymond Butch is there in all the regions. So when I filter central region, what the fixed LOD, so fixed LOD what it will do is, it will count this customer in all the regions, because this customer have some sales. It will not look for the greater than 10,000 sales, but overall it is greater than 10,000. So when the overall sales is greater than 10,000, fixed LOD will count this customer actually. And fixed LOD will show this customer in those regions where this customer sales is existed at least some value. Overall is 10,000, so that is fine. It is counting compulsory, and this count will be shown for those regions only, in from which regions this 10,000 is, this total sales is contributed by that customer. So this Raymond Butch is contributed from the central region, east region, south region, west region. So for sure fixed LOD will consider this, count this customer, and it will show this count of this customer under all the regions. Okay, now I'll go for one more person. You see, like, just let me search for some person. You see this person, click only. Okay, you see, for this customer total sales is not greater than 10,000, so this customer will not be shown in any of the regions, and fixed LOD will not consider this customer. Include LOD also will not consider this customer, because total sales is less than 10,000. So I'm just want to go for it. Yeah, if you see this customer, Ken Londell, this customer total sales is greater than 10,000, right? Now fixed LOD and include LOD both will count this customer, but fixed LOD will show this customer count across all the regions from which this customer is making at least some sales. From central he is making some 4,000, from east he is making some 1,000, like that, right? So because of this reason, fixed LOD will show this count, this will consider this customer for show the count of this customer under central, east and west only. So in the filter shelf, if we select, for example, south, right, fixed LOD will not show this count of customers under south region, because this customer is not at all contributed any sales from the south region. because of that reason, when you select South region in the filter shelf, this customer will not be shown even though this customer is having greater than 10,000 sales. So if the fixed LOD to count those customers, at least that customer should exist in the as contributed, at least that customer should contribute some sales from all the regions. So as this customer is contributed from these three regions, fixed LOD will consider this count this customer. So this customer will not be shown under the South region actually. So if you go here,
ఇప్పుడు
under South region,
అర్థమైందండి యాక్చువల్లీ. ఇప్పుడు క్లారిటీ వచ్చింది. యాహ్! ఐ గాట్ ఇట్ నౌ. యాహ్! థాంక్ యూ.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this example only do so whatever you have asked the last question. So my explanation is there, right? So just try to understand, just try to uh, just see the video multiple times, and if you want to really confirm that that customer is not there in the South region, just go to the South region. Just want to for your confirmation, you want to confirm something also, right? So just click on that 15, go to this here, just go to the full data. So just do the, so in this window also we can do sorting. Just click on this sort symbol. So when you click on the sort symbol, all the customers will be arranged in a alphabetical order, and we are searching for that customer, right? So if you go through all the customers, you don't find that customer here. Some customer is there, that customer will be not there under fixed delivery. Okay, so this is one of the most important thing you have to understand. Okay, I'll go to sheet 31. I will show you something like I am just telling you that. So when you're using this region as filter only, right? So just click on the show filter. When I select central region, my fixed delivery is showing total count still, and my included delivery is 3 count here, count 3 here. But as I told you, fixed delivery will depend upon only context filters, right? So if you want your fixed delivery to depend upon this dimension filter also, and if you want to show the count 3 for the fixed delivery also, just apply it to the context filter like this. Now in this case, it will show 3 3 like this. Okay. Okay, there are some cases, just remove it from the context now. So there are some cases I don't want to use it as a context filter, but still my fixed delivery should depend upon this region. Then what you do? Just go to our fixed calculation, greater than 10,000. So as I told you initially, fixed delivery will depend upon those dimensions which you are using in the sheet, right? So now drag the simple region into the fixed delivery here. Now it will do the aggregations based on the, for each region, it will look for each customer, it will validate this condition. Earlier, it is completely ignored the region and it will validate the condition greater than 10,000. But now as you are using in the region in the filtered fixed delivery itself, it will do like this for each customer, and for each region it will do the sum of sales first, then it will do the apply this condition. Just click on apply now. Now you see you got this 3 3 same. Now fixed delivery will depends upon this region also, because as we are using the region in the calculation. So this is one option. The other option is you can remove it from here and you can apply this to the context filter. That is one option. So just to let you know, in the real time, so you can do like this also. So when you are using the region here, right? So you can apply true false conditions also here, like region equal to east. You can say like this also. So within the fixed delivery, you can write some true false calculations also like this. So this is coming under one field here. Customer name is one field. So the calculation is valid here. Okay. So you can do like this, or sometimes you can do like this also. Remove the region here, and before the summation of the sales also, I can use this condition. I'm just letting you know, like in some cases, if you face like this, so now just click on apply. In this case also, fixed LOD will consider this dimension filter. Why? Because before doing sum of sales, we are applying this filtering concept. So that means we are applying this filtering at the row level data. So before aggregation. So now you see in this condition also fixed LOD is considering the this region here. Okay, so like that, like I can do. But let me remove this one. Just go back one step here. Okay. So this is about fixed LODs and all this. Exclude LOD, we can't use this for this scenario. We can't use exclude LOD. Okay. So here I just have written three scenarios where you can. This is a scenario where you can use fixed and exclude only here. The second scenario I can use fixed and exclude here. But in this third scenario, I can use only fixed and include only I can use here. I can't use exclude. Why? Because exclude will consider only ignore those dimensions which are in the sheet only. For this scenario, we don't have any dimensions in the sheet. That's why no need to use the exclude LOD here. So this is called cohort analysis. So in the straightforward, in the interviews, you can tell that if they are asking you explain about LODs and their use cases, you can tell that first definitions, LOD and all those, and you can tell all these scenarios where we can use all these include and exclude. First one thing you have to mention one scenario in the interview is we use fixed LOD to fix the denominator irrespective of without depending upon other filters, other dimensions. So to fix the denominator while finding the percentages, we can use this fixed LOD. Just only that example is enough for most of the customers in the interviews, because this is the most frequent scenario in the real time. So that's why when you go to interview, just tell this requirement first. Whenever they are asking what is the use case of the fixed LOD you have used it in the real time, is first tell this requirement. We are finding the percentages. This is one example you have to tell. To fix the denominator, we have to use the fixed LOD. Second example you have to tell is this one, cohort analysis. We are using these fixed LODs and include LODs in the cohort analysis. Cohort analysis is nothing but like this. So I have some products are there, or I have some customers are there. We are trying to count the customers whose sales are greater than 10,000, 15,000, like that. Okay, so this is the second scenario. So we have third scenario, fourth scenarios will be there, but I don't want to tell you. But if you want to go in depth, right, just go for our YouTube videos. Okay, but these two scenarios are more than enough. Okay, we are discussing a bit brief about these LODs. Why? Because if you answer the LODs, if you are able to answer these questions which are coming under LODs, then you will be selected. That's the reason I am telling you. So if I want to tell you third scenario and fourth scenario, I'll just give you an idea, because this is an important concept. So just tell you third scenario, just drag the sum of sales here. What is the total sales here? 23 lakhs. So this 23 lakhs is because of all the customers, customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, customer 4, like that. So, but I want to exclude those customers. So in this summation, consider only those customers whose sales are greater than 10,000. So assume that out of these 4 customers, only these 3 customers are having sum of sales greater than 10,000. So consider only these 3 customers sales only, consider here. Don't consider the other customers. So here also we will use the same fixed LOD here. Just edit here. So just do the just copy this calculation only here, till this calculation only, write a different calculation. So first, if you simply mention sum of sales, what the Tableau will do, Tableau will directly consider this sales is greater than 10,000 or not, it will consider. It won't consider the customer. So if you want to consider the customer also, just use the fixed LOD. If you don't use fixed, I am telling, the sum of sales will consider this sum of sales. So just this is a calculation line. Just drag the calculation line into the filter shelf and just do the select true here. So if I consider all the customers whose sales are greater than 10,000, I'm getting 2,75,000. So the same thing can be achieved with the help of condition option also. But here the advantage of the fixed LOD is something like this. So we can dynamically use this calculation like, so I'll copy now only this fixed LOD here. And I'm opening one more calculation here, calculation 10. So this will not apply any condition. Simply it will calculate the sum of sales for each customer. So this is a calculation 10. So this calculation 10, now drag it to the filter shelf. Just select all values. All values means in the fixed LOD, we are getting customer name, customer to name, customer name, like that. So in general, if I want to say my fixed LOD will generate a simply a like temporary table, or my fixed LOD will generate a table. That table contains for each customer, it will contain sum of sales like that. So in this table, for each row in this table, I want to filter the data. So this is a table which we got because of fixed LOD. In this table, I have rows, right? So on these rows, I want to do the filtering. That's why I have to select all rows. First, you have to understand when you get this all rows option, all values option and sum option here. When you drag the calculation into the filter shelf, I got these options. So this calculation 10 is because of fixed LOD. In this fixed LOD, I have customer wise sum of sales. So this is a table, like table here. In this table, I have each row here. On that each row, I want to do the filtering. That's why you have to select sum of all values option here. If you select sum of sales, what the Tableau will do is in this table, it will do the summation of sales first. So again, it will count all the customers sales. Now in that case also you will get 23 lakhs only. So I don't want to do the summation of all these customers. So individual customer name level, I want to filter the data. So select all values here. So what is the advantage of this? Just you can directly, the user can now select minimum value and maximum value like this. Just show filter here. Like normal sales filter, you can use the fixed LOD filter also like this. So I just want to quickly finish the concept. So I want to tell you this window functions and all those, right? So we have already discussed about this window functions. So I'm just telling you with respect to interview point of time. So if I go for with respect to interview point of time, so we can finish this in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. You want me to continue or we can do tomorrow? Anything you
We'll
say?
continue. And actually, we can continue. But if you have any other thing is in pipeline, then we just go. I'll just go through the videos, and that also works actually.
Okay, okay. Okay, just let me tell you for 10 minutes. I will complete this window functions and table calculation with respect to interview point of time and
Yes, yes, yeah.
in real time also it works actually. Okay. So yesterday
Okay.
we have
One
seen
more thing, and actually, so we have this refresh also. అండి రిఫ్రెష్ కూడా ఉంటది కదా మనకి ఇక్కడ.
so that will come under like I'll take a separate one like that will come under live connection extract connect. About data sources we will discuss that one. So few main topics are there in that. A data source is one topic and data modeling is a one class. And if we go here like
Row
row level
level
security key is
security,
one
yeah.
class, and about Tableau server one class, and
One more
finally we
thing,
have
అండి. We do have bookmarks here,
actions.
and yeah, okay, okay.
Bookmarks will not we don't use that bookmarks much here, but we can have that bookmarks. Maybe that bookmarks are different from the Power BI, I think.
Yes, yes, yeah. Actions we call it. Okay.
So we haven't used bookmarks in the Tableau till now actually in the 10 years of experience actually.
Okay, okay.
Okay, totally maybe out of we'll take max 5 to 6 classes. We'll complete them in a fast manner. We'll try to finish all the things.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
So now come to window functions. As I told you in the last class, window functions, window is nothing but whatever the data we have in the sheet, that is nothing but a window. So let's drag the region. We'll try to drag simple things here, like drag the region into the row shelf and sales here. So in the last class, we have seen doing the summation of all these regions and displaying in a separate column. For that, we have used fixed LOD, and for that, we have used window sum function also. So without doing that also, if you want to do the sales, if you want to represent the total sales in a separate row, in the last row, if you want to display in the last row, then go for the show column grand totals. If you want to display the same sales in a separate column, go for fixed LOD or window function or exclude LOD. So now I want to use the same window function for different purposes. So this is the calculation. So like window sum function, I have window min function. Mainly we have window average function. So this is most frequently used in the real time. Why? Because I have, so if you take any class, we have different students will be there. So in generally, you want to try to compare these students are above average or below average. So to first compare this student with his above average or below average, first you have to get the average value of all the students here. So here also in a similar fashion, if you want to identify this region is above performing above average or below average, first we have to compare this each region sales with the average sales, average of all region sales. So for this we are using window average function here. This will do the summation of all the sum of sales what we have in the sheet. So just click on apply, drag this calculation 11, double click it. Now we see average is 5,81,000 of all the regions. So if you want to show the same average in the last row, then we will go for grand total here. So just so once we apply the show column grand totals, now what we have to do is come to the sales column here in the measure values. Now once you apply that show column grand totals, now I can see one more option here which is called totals using. Total using, as of now it is automatic. Now I can select average here. Now you see it will give me the average here which is similar to this one only. But in real time, why do you go for this window average function means I want to find out the difference between the actual sales of this region and average sales. In that case, we have to use the window sum function here. So you can write one more calculation, which is average sales, that is calculation 11 minus sum of sales. So just click on apply. Just this is the 12 here. Just drag it here. So if you want to show this type of, so whenever you got a negative value, these are performing. Okay, maybe so we have written here opposite way. So we have to write like average sales, actually sum of sales minus average sales. So from actual sales, do the difference minus of average sales. So wherever you got negative means that is below average. So the difference between like that you can compare the average sales with the actual sales of the region and you can identify which is performing more and less. So window sum function is we'll use for mostly for this purpose. Window average we will use like this. Now let me open the calculation 11. So here we are using window average. So it will try to do the average of all these rows. So out of all the rows, you want to find out the min value, right? I can use window min function. Just click on apply. Now out of all these regions, minimum value you will get here like 3,91,000, right? You will get all that in the all the rows. So like that we can use window max function. It will try to find out max value in this particular window. Then you can compare it with the other values like that. Okay. Now I can use the for the same like similar to the Windows sum function. So Windows sum function, what it will do? It will do the summation of all these rows and it will give you the total sales. So for a sum of sales, change it to from average to like summation or automatic. It will give total sales, which is similar to sum of sales. So instead of using Windows sum function, I can use one. We have one more function also, which is called total function. Just click on apply. This total function also will give you the same result. So there is a bit difference between total function and Windows sum function. Particularly, you will see that difference when you are counting the customers. So I don't want to go into that one here, but you can see the difference while doing the sales or profit like that. You won't get any difference between a Windows sum function and total function. You will identify the difference between total function and Windows sum function when you're trying to count some dimensions, count number of customers, count regions like that. Why? Because I have one customer. This customer may exist in the east region, and same customer will exist in the west region also. I'm just telling you an example. Windows sum function will count these same customer 2 times, but total function will count this customer only 1 time only, like that. So I don't want to go into in that depth. So now we have seen all these. Like now we will go for a last function and first function. Very simple. So I will tell you the same scenario which we have seen in the past. Like I have customer names here. I have sales. Now how the first function will work here? Just our last function will work. So just name it the last function and simply write last function here. So this last function will not take any arguments here. Don't provide any arguments here. So the last function, the name itself will indicate that whatever, just double click on it. Whatever we have rows right in the tableau in the sheet, for the last row, it will assign 0. And after that, it will assign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that it will assign. So for the last row, if you want to assign 1 right, simply add the +1 to this last function. So for this 0, 1 will be added. For each and every row, 1 will be added. Just click on apply. Now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. So I don't want to go like that here. Just to let you know, we can do the like this also. Just click on apply. Okay. Now you see we have some scenarios in the real time. I want to show last 5 rows or last 6 rows like that. So when there is a requirement to show the last 5 rows, last 6 rows like that, right? I go for last function here. So I simply drag the last function into the filter shelf. So from 0 to 5 only I want to show. So in the range I can select 0 to 4 here. As we are including 0 also, I'll get total 5 rows. Just apply. So I can show 5 rows, last 5 rows. So this is one scenario without considering any measure here. I want to show the last 4 rows or 5 rows. So just use the last function here. But most frequently real-time scenario here is I want to show the bottom 5 customers. For bottom 5 customers, we have seen top option, sets option. Other option you can use last function also. So first I have to get the bottom 5 customers in the last 5 rows, right? For that, what I will do, simply arrange the view in the descending order. Sorry, ascending order. So when you arrange it in the ascending order, I can see bottom 5 customers in the bottom 5 rows. So now apply this last function. 0 to 4, you will get bottom 5 customers. So in a similar to the last function, I have one more function also there, which is called a first function. So let me tell you how the first function will work. First function. So exactly this is opposite to that of the last function. So first function will assign 0 to the first record, and it will keep on negative values, -1, -2, -3 like that. If you want to display top 5 customers or first 5 rows, top 5 customers arranged in a descending order first, then apply the first filter here. Okay, like that. So just drag it to the filter shelf. Just -4 to 0, I want to get it. So like that, just click on apply. I'll get top 5 customers using the first function. Now I have a scenario like this. I want to show the top 5 customers and bottom 5 customers in a single sheet. So to show the top 5 customers and bottom 5 customers in a single sheet, we have used earlier sets option. So just go through that sets option one more time. But here I can do like this. Last function should be greater than or equal to, sorry, less than or equal to 4. It will give you the bottom 5 customers, or if you want to show the top customers also, right? Just use this customer, like it should be greater than or equal to -4. So when I say greater than or equal to -4, I will get -3 is greater than -4, right? That's why I got all these. So using this first function, last function, I got bottom 4. So this is a calculation 13 here. Just drag the calculation 13 into the filter shelf. Just select true here. Now you see, I can display top 5 customers and bottom 5 customers in a single sheet using either sets option or using this last function also. But what is the difference you have to understand is this one. Which one you have to go? Very simple, like go to the order of the filters. Sets will not depend upon the normal dimension filter sets, but you see table calculations. So last function, first function are coming under table calculations. So these will depend upon dimension filters also. Okay, let me tell you that scenario. Now using the first function and last function, I want to tell one scenario only here. Just edit the calculation. So remove all these things here. Just keep the sum of sales only. I want to show the top one customer only here. So arrange it in a descending order. Okay, I can use the first function here. I want to show only top one customer. Just use first equal to 0 actually. It will give you the first row. That is top one customer. So calculation 13 here, drag it to filter shelf, select true here. Just click on OK. I can see top one customer here. Now I have region filter here. Show filter. If I select region central, from the central it will show. Okay, see which one?
సీన్ మిల్లర్ వస్తుంది. లాస్ట్ టైం కూడా అదే వచ్చింది అనుకుంటా.
Okay. But okay, let's remove this calculation 13 here. Okay, 13 is that one. Okay, remove the central here. See Miller. Okay, let me go to calculation 13. Edit first equal to 0. Okay, now just drag the region into the it should not happen like this actually. Why? Because this first function is a window function. It should automatically depend upon the other filters also. If I select west region, from the west region it should show top one customer. From
సో
the
ఇక్కడ
south region,
కాంటెక్స్ట్ అప్లై చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేకుండా ఆటోమేటిక్ గా తీసుకోవాలి కదా అలా
yeah,
అంటున్నాను.
correct.
ఓకే ఓకే.
Why it is doing so? Okay, first remove the region filter here. Just drag the region into the row shelf first. My intention is for each region I want to display the top one customer. But whatever the last function filter we are applying here, by default it will apply compute using customer name. Compute using table down it will consider. So, but I want to show the top one customer for each region. So just for now forget about this region filter here. So now what I will do, once you have to go to the edit table calculation, go to the specific dimensions. In the row shelf I have region and I have customer here. So at the level I want to, you can take at the deepest here. Deepest means customer name will come, or you can mention customer name also. I want to restart this this first function for each region here. Okay, so now my intention is I want to show the top one customer for each region within the sheet. So for that this is the procedure. Just click on OK. Let's close this window. Now go to the calculation 13, which is using first function. So first for anything, first you have to arrange it in a descending order first. Then only in the first row I can see top customer. I want this top customer from each region. If I go to central region, like each region, For each region, I want to see this top customer. So first what we will do is, we have written first function, right? Just double click on this first function. So this first function will try to assign 0 to the first record, and it will keep on going, even though, let me tell you, it keep on going like this. Yeah, you see in the central region, for last record, what is the value? Minus 628. And even though the east region comes, the same number will be continued from 628 to 629. But I don't want to do like this. When the region, for each region, I want to restart my last function. Sorry, I want to restart my first function from 0 again. So if you want to reset your first function for each and every region, so for that, just click on the edit table cal. You can directly go compute using and just click on the customer name. It will work, but go to the table calculation, specific dimension, at the level customer name, restart every for regions. Now you see, for each region, my first function is restarting here. For each region, it is restarting. For if you go for south region also, it will restart like that. Okay. So for south also, it is restarting. For central also, it will be restarting. Now, on top of this first function where we have applied edit table calculations, just click on that one, just click on the filter option. Now I want 0 record only. 0 0 you can put here. So it will pick the 0 record from the each region. Now I can see the top one customer for each region here like this. Okay, so if you want to find out the top 5 customers, so just click on the show filter here for the user. You can say -1 to 2. -1 to 0 means it will show top 2 customers for each region like that. So this scenario showing top 1 customer for each region, showing top 2 customers for each region, or showing top 5 customers for each region, right? This cannot be achieved with the help of top option and sets options, what we have seen earlier. This scenario can be achieved with the help of only either first function, last function, or index function only. Or we have one more function which is called rank functions. Okay, so let me show you that rank function here. So when you are using the rank function, right, no need to arrange it in a descending order or ascending order. No need to arrange. Why? Because in the rank function also we have different rank functions are there. Rank function, rank dense function. In the interviews, they will be asking you what is the difference between rank function and rank dense function. I'll show you a simple example here within this calculation itself. I have three customers. So two customers are having same sales, 10 rupees, 10 rupees, and this customer is having 5 rupees sales. Okay. Now how the rank function will work here? Simple. So assume that as the customer 1, customer 2 are having same sales, right? So rank has to assign same rank here, rank 1 here. Now when go to the third row, the sales are different, right? So 1 it is already assigned here. For first row 1, second row also 1 here. For third row, what it will do is it won't assign, it will assign 2 here. So there is a continuity in the numeric values ranks here. 1 after 1 will get 2 here like that. But what the rank dense function will do? Rank dense function will do is it will also do the same thing most of the time. It will assign rank 1 here, rank 1 here. But when come to this third person, it will assign rank 3 here. Why it is so? Rank dense function will skip some ranks here. Why? Because for first row it is assigned 1. For second row also it is already assigned same rank 1 here. So for second row also it is assigned same rank 1 here. It will skip 2 here. For second row it will already rank is assigned. So for third row it will assign rank 3. So in the rank dense function you don't see the continuity of integers here. It will skip some integers here. So now I got 1 1 rank 1 1. For third row it will assign rank 3 like that. So this is a very important thing you have to explain in the interviews. They will ask compulsory what is the difference between rank and rank dense functions. So rank will not skip any integers while assigning the ranks, but rank dense will skip some integers here. So same sales, same rank will be assigned. But when come to the third row, it will skip 2 here. Assume that between customer 1, customer 2, customer 3 is also there with some 6 rupees sales or same 10 rupees sales. 1, 10, 10, 10, and customer 4 is having 5 rupees sales. Now what the rank dense will do is it will assign 1, 1 here, and for third row also it will assign 1. Why? Because 3 customers are having same 10 rupees sales. So 1, 1, 1. When come to the fourth row, it will assign rank 4 here. So rank dense function will skip rank 2 and rank 3 here, because for row 2, row 3 already rank 1 is assigned. But the rank function will not do like that. So it will assign 1, 1, 1 for what is the continuation of the integer here for 4 through 2, right? So 1, 1, 1, 2 it will show rank function like that. Okay, now we'll come to rank unique function. Rank unique function will not consider any of these things, and rank unique function will not repeat any ranks like 1, 1, 1. It will not repeat the ranks here. Simply it will first the rank dense function, rank unique function will arrange it in a descending order like this. After that, for first row, it will assign 1, next 2, next 3, next 4. It will keep on assigning unique ranks. Even though the first 3 customers are having same sales, it won't assign same rank here. By some reason, it will first arrange it in a descending order based on the alphabets, maybe like that. And after that, keep on assigning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. So this is about the difference between all these three. I don't want to tell about rank modified and rank percentile, because we don't use that in the real time.
ఓకే.
Okay.
రియల్ టైమ్‌లో ఏది యూజ్ చేస్తామండి మీరు యాక్చువల్లీ దీంట్లో ర్యాంకా, ర్యాంక్ డెన్సా, ర్యాంక్ యూనికా?
So it is based on
అంటే
your requirement. Like for example, I want to show the top 5 customers. So out of the top 5 customers, assume that customer 1, customer 3, customer 3, customer 4, customer 5. Okay, I'll tell you one example here. So you can understand easily. I'll tell you that example. So here I am using rank function. First I am using, so instead of using for the last scenario, instead of using first function, last function, I can use rank function here. It is taking 2 arguments here. Expression it will take. So last function, first function will not take any arguments, but the rank function will take argument here. So it will take expression. So first argument is sum of sales. So then what the tableau will do is, for sum of sales, it will, based on the sum of sales, it will assign ranks. So it won't even if you arrange this in ascending order, descending order, it won't bother about that one. But first function, we have to do that descending order and ascending order to get the top customers in the first row. But for rank function, based on the measure you will provide here, based on this sum of sales value, it will assign ranks 1, 2, 3 like that. So second argument you have to mention here, either ascending order or descending order you want to tell this tableau. So very tricky one tableau, something like this. See, second argument is optional argument here. Why? Because it is mentioning in the open braces like this. So whenever you see something in the open braces, it is an optional argument. So without providing this argument also, the calculation is still valid here. But by default, tableau arranged it in a descending order. By default, it will consider descending. Okay, like that. Just click on apply. So it is a calculation 14. Now drag the calculation 14 into the filter shelf. So now don't use the first function, remove the first function, drag the calculation, just double click for calculation 14. We'll see what will happen. You see, so rank function will not assign 1 to the first row like that. It won't do like that. So for the rank function, we have mentioned sum of sales. So it will try to look for the highest sum of sales here. Okay, maybe we have to go through all the way down, maybe something like that we have to search. But what I can do, simply drag it to the filter shelf. just select 1 and 1 only here. Minimum is 1, max is 1. Now we see I got Sean Miller, who is having highest sales from the south region, like that. So for each region it will apply. But I want to top customer for each region, right? Then what I have to do? Go to the calculation 14, just edit table calculation 14, specific dimension, same option what we have seen earlier, customer name at the level, reset every region. Once you do this, now again filter it. Whatever the filter you have applied, that will not apply again here. Once you modify the table calculation, the filter whatever we have applied earlier, that will not apply here for table character, for rank functions only. Just click on edit, again 1 so it will give you top customers for so it will give you top 1 customer for each and every region. So we have applied that edit table calculation in the filter shelf only. We have applied that one, not in the measure values here. That's why you can see here different ranks may be here. So you can apply the same here also. Edit table calculation, do the same thing here also. Now you see. So with even if you show calculation 14 in the sheet itself or not, that is not a problem. We have calculation 14, which is rank function filter. We have applied in the filter shelf. That is the matter. That will filter the data. But if you want to show now top 2 customers for each region, you can say 1 to 2 like this. So I can see top 2 customers here. Sometimes user want to see that 1 2 ranking also here in the sheet. So at that time, you can drag the calculation 14 into the row shelf. And for calculation 14 also apply the edit table calculation. Just like that. So now it will show rank 1, rank 2. For each region, rank 1, rank 2, it will show. In this case, you can applying the calculation 14 in the filter shelf is mandatory to get the top 2 customers for each region. But for showing this 1, 2, 3 here like that, right? You can use the same calculation 14 here, or you can use the index function also. So we have one more function in the tableau, which is called index function. So index function also will not take any arguments here. So what the index function will do here is like index function will directly just double click on it. So index function will directly apply a 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So just go to the index function, maybe applying just table down. I am seeing something different in the new versions. Okay, let's check which version it is. Go to help option, go to about Tableau. So it is 2024.1.1 version. In general, this index function will not consider any sum of cells or something like that. It will directly go to compute using table down. Okay, customer. Let me take some time here. Like table down. It should do table down actually. Okay, got it. Table down here. Okay. Actually, I want to show indexes here. Okay, let me do that. Let's drag the index into the row shelf. Let me make it discrete. Drag it to the first row here. 1, 2, okay, just forget about index. Something happen. Okay. So if you want to show 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 ranks also in the sheet, just use the rank function. So I will tell you about index function. So index function will simply use for indexing purpose. Like I have customers are there. If you want to show how many customers are there, like row numbers, row 1, row 2, row 3, like that, right? Just use the index function. Just convert it into discrete here. Now I can see index is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that it will do. Okay. So for index, if you want to show the same thing in the index in the last row also, okay, I got it now. Okay, got it. Just apply discrete here, drag it to the first cell, 1, 2, 3, right? As of now, it is going table down. Just edit table calculation, specific dimension, region and customer at region level. Now you see. Mhm. Okay, drag it to the customer name here. Okay, now I got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 for each region. Okay. Okay, I don't want to waste time here. You can use to show this ranks 1, 2, 3, like you can use anything. And I told you we have rank function, right? Which is calculation 14. So just go into this calculation. If you want to show the bottom 5 customers, right? By default, it will arrange it in a descending order first. I'll tell you how this descending order will work and rank will work. So ascending, descending will work like this. So whatever the expression you have to tell here, like let's say it is like ascending, ASC. ASC means ascending. So within single quote, you can mention ASC or DSC, whatever they have mentioned here. ASC means ASC you have to write here. For descending, you have to write DESC you have to write here. You have to follow the same option. So if you want to write DESC, you can write here. How the rank function will work like this. First, it will take sum of cells. So, and it will arrange the sum of cells in a descending order. Within this calculation only, it will do entire thing. So first it will arrange the cells in a descending order like that, 100, 50, 40, 10, like that it will arrange in a descending order first. Then it will assign the rank 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So if you mention ascending means increase, right? Okay, descending means decreasing order. Actually, I lost that one. Okay. So that's why this rank function will work. So don't want to go in depth and like that. No, hope you got everything here. So this is more than enough. So if you have any, just skip those which you don't understand. Okay, now I'll just tell you this size function. Okay, just 10 minutes I'll close. Size function, lookup function. These are very important, lookup function. So lookup function is very important. So I'll come to order date here. Now I will take order date as an example. Sales is an example. Okay, now I have 2024 sales. For each year, I have some sum of sales here. Now my requirement is I want to compare the current year with the previous years. So want to compare 2024 with 2023 and 2023 with 2022 sales. Like that, I want to compare each year with the previous year. So if I want to do that comparison, what I have to first do here is I want to in the current row only, I want to display the previous row sales here. For that, I want to use the lookup function here. I want to look one row back, like that it will work. So just take the lookup function here. So lookup function also will take two arguments. Second argument is offset here. So you can, it is optional here, but first expression is sum of sales. You have to mention. So whatever the measure you will mention here, lookup function will bring that measures in the current row. This is a calculation 14. So drag the, 15, double click on it. Okay. So when you double click, okay. Okay, when you don't mention any offset, it won't consider anything here. So for example, if you mention -1 here, just click on apply, second argument. What it will do is, it will -1 means previous row. So just remember in the table calculations, 0 means current row always. 1 means next row. 2 means next row like that. So for example, if you are in this row, right? So this is current row, this is 0. Next row means 1 means this row, 2 means this row, 3 means this row. Okay. Next -1 means, so for example, assume that you are in this row. So this is 0 here. -1 means this row, -2 means this row, 1 means next row, 2 means next to next row, like that. So if you want to bring, one second. Okay, so this is very simple. Like you are in the current row. -1 means from this current row, it will look for -1, -2, like this. Hope you understand. So when I mention -1 here, it will, in the current row, it will try to bring the previous row cells like this. Similarly for each and every row. So when you are in this row, it will try to bring the previous row cells into the current row. Here also like this. But here I don't see anything here because I don't have any previous row for this current row. That's why I don't see anything here. So I can do this in a many different ways. If you see -2 here, see, we got the answer here. Okay. So in the current row, we are displaying the previous row. Now we are comparing each year with the previous row like this. So we have current row. So we have under 2024, I have current row sales and I have previous row sales also. Now you can create many other calculations based on these two calculations. What calculations you can create? You can create these many calculations. You can find out the difference between the current year and previous year. So it should be the difference between this calculation and this calculation. So sum of sales minus calculation 15 will give you the difference between current year and previous year sales. Okay, we have one more requirement also based on this. Okay, what is the requirement? In the current year, I have 7,45,000 sales. In the previous year, I have 6,13 sales. I want to find out current year sales are how many times to that of the previous year sales. What is the formula? Current year sales divided by previous year sales. So here you can use this sum of sales in the numerator. The denominator we have to use calculation 15. So this will give you the how many times current year sales are comparing to the previous year sales. So if it is greater than 100% or 1, current year sales are like 1.5 times to that of the previous year sales. So I am telling you here in a bit a faster manner maybe, but these are the very important questions in the real time. So they will ask you simply like that. They will ask you simply like this. Just show me current year sales are how many times to that of previous year sales. They will ask you simply that question. Once you get these two calculations using lookup function, you can open one more calculation. You can do the difference between the current year and previous year like this, or you can do the difference between, you can do the current row sales are how many times to that of previous year sales. So previous should be in the, so calculation 15 is giving the previous year sales, right? So it should be in the denominator. Just click on calculation, just click on OK. Drag the calculation 16 into the row cell. Actually, you have to multiply it with 100, right? When the percentage means we have to multiply it with 100, but we don't do that in the tab. Look, go to format option, go to percentage option. You see, current year sales are 121 times to that of previous year sales. So you can do this difference division. You can do this when you have two different calculations only. That's why we are using this lookup function and we are bringing this previous row sales into the current row. Once you get this, I can do the summation, difference, division like this. Okay. Without using this lookup function, I can still achieve this requirement. So in Tableau, we have one option is there. Directly go to the sum of sales. Okay. Click on this drop down sum of sales. Here you can see different options here. Running total, difference option, percent differences, percent of total, like that you can. Earlier we have seen percent of total, I think. Now just simply do the percent difference or just do the difference. When you do the difference, right, it will show you the difference between the current year sales and previous year sales. Okay, what is the calculation? That is Tableau automatically applying here. Open new calculation. So in this sum of sales, you have applied this difference option, right? So when you apply this difference option, so for any measure, see, for any measure, if you apply some table calculations, how to identify that? For this measure, we have applied table calculation. How to identify that means whenever you see this upper angle symbol, right? That means in this calculation or for this measure, we are using some table calculations. So if you want to see the table calculation, how you are applying, just simply drag this into here. You see? So this is the table calculation we have applied. So whenever you do this, like go to quick table calculation and just simply click on the difference option. When you do this, Tableau automatically applying this calculation in behind, and it is giving the difference is 1,31,000. So Tableau also in the back end, it is applying this lookup function. This. So whatever we have done in the calculation 16, that is Tableau automatically doing here when you apply that quick table calculation. Okay. Now just close this calculation. Now instead of that one, apply the go to quick table calculation. Now apply the percent difference. Now I got 21% difference. So current year sales are 21 times more than that of the 21, like this, you can see. Now, if you want to see that calculation, what the table is applied behind that one, just simply drag the sum of sales into the calculation 17. Now you see current year sales minus previous year sales divided by previous year sales. So I'll tell you what is the meaning of ABS. ABS means minus values are positive values. It will give positive value only. It will convert minus values and positive values into positive values only. That is the ABS function. So these are the calculations. So once you get this calculation, based on your requirement, you can modify these calculations. I don't want this look up in the numerator. You can modify this one. So you can modify these calculations, these table calculations manually like this within a separate calculation. Or what you can do is simply come to this measure values here, just double click the sum of sales. Now you see, now you can see that formula here itself. So it is applied this formula, table calculation. Okay, like that you can do. So if you want to make this calculation as a separate calculation in the Tableau, just drag this table calculation in the here. So Tableau automatically creates a table calculation here, like calculation 17 with that formula. Okay, and that will be applied here. If you want to clear the table calculation, simply go to click on the clear table calculation. Now I can see normal sales here. So these are very important. So I have mentioned all those requirements here, here itself. So where I have applied, let me just go to the examples here. Maybe somewhere I have applied that one. You see, we are always trying to compare the current year sales with the previous year sales and get the difference percentage difference like that. Okay. So just give me a second. Lookup function. Okay, running totals, window calculations. Yeah, under quick table calculations, you can see like this. Difference means CY minus PY. Percentage difference means current year minus previous year divided by previous year. Percent of total means current year minus total sales. Here I can use window sum function or total function. So I can have year over year growth also there. Some option is also there. So that also will do the same thing like this one. Okay. So you can just practice till this point of time. Maybe tomorrow we will go with the other things. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, thanks.